Hey, everybody. Brooks really likes that intro. What's going on, everyone? Mike, the Fantasy Hitman Wright. I'm from the Fantasy Footballers podcast. Hopefully, you knew that. Maybe you stumbled upon this live stream and you say, what the heck is going on here? Well, I'll tell you what the heck is going on here. It's Sunday Live. It's the fantasy playoffs. I have already tilted 45 times this morning. Hopefully, we will try and put a calming to those fears. We will squelch the nerves, so to speak. I'm joined as always by my fearless producer, Brooks, the judge himself. Brooks, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. That's right. We're going to squelch those nerves.
Squelch them.
Yep.
You like that word there?
Yeah, I do. I do now.
All right, so as per usual on the Sunday Live, we go through the news, talk if there's any concerns about the weather, and then I go through some start-sit questions, start working through that process. So the big news of the day, Le'Veon Bell is out. The New York Jets star running back. That's right. I just air quoted you, Le'Veon Bell, in your face. But he's out. Apparently he's sick, and that means that the Jets' backfield is wide open in a crazy good matchup against the Miami Dolphins. As of right now, our best projection is that it will be Bilal Powell, who will be the primary benefactor. He's been the guy who's getting in there more and more, even when Le'Veon Bell is playing. He was not there at the beginning of the season. In the preseason, where it looked like Ty Montgomery was a surefire handcuff for Le'Veon Bell, Powell wasn't there. And then they brought him in. He has earned the trust of the B-hole, and that's why he's on the field. And Bilal Powell is just a good running back. So here he is. I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions. I'll address those and kind of talk through my Powell process. The other big one, so Josh Jacobs, that's a pretty big one as well. The Raiders running back, superstar rookie running back, Josh Jacobs, is a true game-time decision. So, insight into the process. In the Listener League playoffs, I'm in. Taking this one down. I have Josh Jacobs. I was able to pick up Bilal Powell a couple days ago. Powell's a morning game. Jacobs is an afternoon game. I'm playing Powell. That's just what I'm choosing to do. I'm not going to mess around with the game time decision for Josh Jacobs. I think that Powell is a fine replacement option. Powell certainly carries a ton of risk that what if we're all projecting wrong and he's not the starting running back? I don't think that's the case, but you got to be willing to roll with these risks by making certain moves. And with Jacobs being there with this fractured shoulder and stuff, I'm going with Powell. So that's a player that I'm choosing to play over Josh Jacobs from the morning, not wait and get burned by that and then be forced to play like DeAndre Washington. Adam Thielen is out.
Well, I'll just jump in real quick and say right around 3 o'clock Eastern is when we'll find out about Josh Jacobs being active or not.
Thank you.
There you go.
The afternoon game, so let's see. Let's run through that. So we got the Chargers, Jacksonville. We got Patriots, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Arizona, Tennessee, Oakland. And then tonight is Rams, Seattle. Tomorrow is the Eagles, Giants. That's going to be tough to find a running back pivot at that point for those teams. Like, I pretty much think that you have to call your shot. Either you're playing Jacobs or one of the Raiders backups, or you're going to pivot away from one of these morning guys, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Adam Thielen is out. That was kind of expected. And then as far as weather is concerned, the weather, tomorrow it sounds like is the only real game of note. It's still tomorrow, so we're not exactly sure what the weather is going to be. It's very possible, though, that the Giant-Eagle game has some wind, has some rain. I have chosen to downgrade that matchup a little bit, moved Carson Wentz down. I moved Miles Sanders down a little bit with knowing that there could be conditions where it's a little bit wet. That means that doesn't mean I'm automatically benching them. It's not that type of a situation, but just make sure you're staying up to date. The rankings, thefantasyfootballers.com. I will be updating those. The other guys are updating theirs right now, and mine will continue to be updated as soon as this stream is over. Did I hit all the big news, the big stuffs there, Brooks?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, then. Let's get into the questions. I predict lots of Bilal Powell and Zack Pascal questions. That's kind of what I feel like people are going to be asking. So here we go. Right off the top from Anthony. Good morning. Would you play Marlon Mac or Bilal Powell in a half-point PPR? So the latest news on Marlon Mac from head coach Frank Wright. He is not going to be limiting Marlon Mac's snaps at all. When a running back is returning and it's not a leg injury, I am generally speaking ready to go right back to them because I'm not worried about a hamstring being pulled. It was a broken hand. He should be good to go. I mean, he should be all healed up. The matchup stinks against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I'm going to play Mac here. At the end of the day, Bilal Powell certainly has a chance to outscore Marlon Mac. Powell has a pass-catching profile. He's just a sneaky good running back Powell is built for this type of a situation, like 1 to 2 games where he is the starter. He's not built to be the full-time guy. Every time he gets that opportunity, it kind of fizzles out. But Mac doesn't have the usage questions that Bilal Powell does, and that's the reason why I would go with Marlon Mac. I'm going to trust the volume. I'm going to trust Indianapolis, their offensive line. It didn't work out for Jonathan Williams last week. That's because Jordan Wilkins came back and was finally healthy. And if you looked at Jordan Wilkins running last week, he was getting it done. He didn't have a full-time volume, so it wasn't sustainable for fantasy football. But he was able to get it done when he was given an opportunity, and Marlon Mack should receive plenty of opportunities. Robert, J. Williams or B. Powell is where you got to be more specific. I'm assuming he means Jamal Williams, because if it's Jonathan Williams, that's an easy question. But Jamal Williams, that's a little bit tougher. So right now, I have Bilal Powell sitting right around my RB25, and I have Jamal Williams. That matchup is nice against Washington, but I got him at 27. So as of right now, I have Bilal Powell just a couple spots ahead. Again, risk. There is risk in Bilal Powell's workload. So if you can stomach that risk, that's the play that I would go with. Patrick says tacos or burritos. Is burritos, my man. Brooks, tacos or burritos?
Tacos. Both are great. Why we gotta even?
Because he asked you to choose, Brooks.
I chose tacos. There you go.
So disappointing.
One of each.
It's so disappointing, man. Sean says Geis, Penny, or Shady. Pick 2. All right, this one is brutal. So Damian Williams, Kansas City Chiefs, starting running back. He is out yet again. So now it is LaShawn McCoy, Darwin Thompson, and newly added backup Spencer Ware. They just seem to not want to give Shady McCoy the ball. And the matchup is brutal against the Patriots. I'm going with Geis, and I'm going with Penny. Penny, I think, is the safest option of this. Geis, he still won't see the volume you want, but he might be able to get it done against the Packers. Their running defense is suspect. Mark, here we go. Zack Pascal, I knew they were coming. Or Christian Kirk in a PPR. Man, Pascal is very difficult because I keep switching between calling him Pascal and Pascal. I have no idea. Does anyone know how to say this guy's name? Brooks?
No.
Brooks is just cackling back there.
Because producer Borland and I noticed that on the last episode.
I mean, I just did it right here.
It was going back and forth.
I switched his name up in a matter of 20 seconds. I'm sorry, Zach. That's on me, man. I need to figure out how to say your name, buddy. I am sorry. Zachary P. Oh, man. He's in such a good situation against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But he's had some opportunities, and he's just completely vanished. That's why fully trusting him is so difficult. It should be an easy situation. This should be easy. It should be Zack Pascal. Pascal. Whatever. Both of them. Both of those guys should be in your lineup. It should be really easy. He's Jason's start of the week. Am I remembering that right, Brooks? I think Jason's got the faith. Brooks isn't sure. All right, you check that out, Brooks. I'll stall for time. But meanwhile, Christian Kirk has to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense is top-notch. I have faded Kyler Murray a decent bit in my rankings. Murray usually a quarterback 1. Right now I have him 13. And you know what? I might even move him down a little bit. So I don't have Kyler in my top 12. I'm concerned. I'm going with the Pascalian one.
This is Ballers on a budget pick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So I want to like him so much. I want to just embrace him in my arms with a big hug, but I'm not sure if he's going to hug me back. He might just do that thing, where he rests your shoulder or the chin on your shoulder, but he doesn't actually hug you back. It's rude. It's rude. Brooks, I don't know what I'm doing over here. Welcome to Sunday Live. I'm Mike from the Fantasy Footballers, going through the process. We are tilting hard because that's what fantasy football is all about. It wouldn't be fun. Like, if you didn't have to stress out about it and you just kind of do it, what fun is that? That's not fun. Want to thank our studio sponsor, Pristine Auction. Please check them out. Best sports memorabilia site. It's Christmas time. Fantastic gifts can be won for steals of deals at pristineauction.com. Make a completely free account. Use the promo code BALLERS. Next question. Sorry, I got distracted here by Chris, who says, "Hey, Mike, UK listener to the show, and I need help." But then Chris did not ask for help. He just told me he needs help. So, Chris, I hope you get the help that you need, buddy. We're rooting for you. Mike Hall says, Crowder or Anderson in a full-point PPR. Oh, man. Crowder is very similar to me as Zack Pascal, where everything should work. Everything should be working for Jamison Crowder. He had 3 straight weeks where he was awesome. His volume is relatively safe. 2 weeks ago it was a bit down, but this last week, still massive volume, didn't turn into anything. I think he had, 8 yards or something. He was an absolute poopiest pants of the week award. I'm going to go, and then, oh man. And then, of course, on the other side, it's Robbie Anderson, Robbie Anderson is my start of the week, and he has kind of taken the mantle at least the last couple of weeks. If I got to make the decision, heads up between these two guys, I'm going with Robbie Anderson, even in the full point PPR. Brooks, how do you feel about Crowder and Anderson?
That's what I would do too.
You'd go with Robbie.
Yep, but not be surprised if Crowder has the
better
game.
That's the tough part about having both of them. That's a brutal situation. All right, next question comes in from Strong Style Ninja. Says, Baby Shark or Baby Yoda? Please. I have children, and Baby Shark makes me want to jump off a bridge. So that one's easy. All right. This one is not easy, though. This one's from Jason. He says, Jason Adekoya, who says, please help. Jack Doyle or Hunter Henry. That is brutal. I actually have Jack Doyle sitting one spot above Hunter Henry. Jack Doyle should be very reliable and safe now that Eric Ebron is out, T.Y. Hilton is out, Chester Rodgers is out. And Brooks, I missed the big my guy, Jack Doyle, contract extension. He'll be back for 3 years with the Colts. Where's Eric Ebron's contract extension? Brooks, where is it?
It can't be found.
That's right. That's Team Doyle. Ha! This is where we see Eric Ebron get a massive extension tomorrow. But that day does not exist yet. So in this day, we celebrate Jack Doyle. Okay. I think Doyle is safer, but the Hunter Henry upside, despite last week, Hunter Henry was very disappointing last week. I get it. But up until that point, he had just been dominating. Jack Doyle won't dominate. I'm on Team Doyle over here, and I can admit Jack Doyle won't dominate for you. He'll give you top 10 tight end numbers, the option to score, but Hunter Henry is an actual difference maker at the position. So I'm still going to go with Hunter Henry. I'm going to take him against Jacksonville. Next, so many Powell questions, man. All right, so we'll field this one because I think it's close. Benny Snell against Arizona or Bilal Powell. So similar to Jamal Williams, I have Jamal Williams. Let's see, where is everyone moving around? Sorry, the things. Oh, my goodness. All right, the algorithm is moving and shaking right now, and Bilal Powell. I have Bilal Powell above Benny Snell currently. I got to adjust my Bilal Powell ranking. he's getting a little out of control here. All right, I'm gonna move him down a little bit. So this is how we do it. Rankings live on the air, Brooks. I don't need. Well, Ryan Miller. Ryan Miller here is spamming the chat here. Ryan Miller, we can't have that, buddy. You guys settle down. All right. Chris Thomas, Diggs or Sutton in a standard league. For Minnesota, I like Kirk Cousins a lot this week. He is my start of the week, despite the fact that I was anticipating Adam Thielen to be out. Adam Thielen is, in fact, out. Courtland Sutton, meanwhile, still dealing with Drew Lock as his quarterback. That will probably be a season-long plague upon Courtland Sutton. Stephon Diggs is my answer here. Courtland Sutton has been great, but I'm going to take the quarterback in the very plus matchup, in the very plus situation, and the elite route running of Stephon Diggs. Next question is... Ooh, a defense question. That's fun. McLean Miller says, Saints D or Jets D? Saints at home, playing San Francisco. The Jets defense at home playing the Miami Dolphins. Now, despite the fact that I am a Ryan Fitzpatrick truther, the dude still takes sacks. The dude turns the ball over. Meanwhile, I guess the Saints could have a good day against Jimmy Garoppolo. You could see him turn the ball over, but I want the guaranteed sack volume and the option for my defense to get a defensive score. I think that probability still lies heavier on the Jets at home against Miami than it does against the Saints against San Francisco. I'm concerned about the Saints and the 49ers game. I feel like it's going to turn into this low-scoring, not slop fest is the wrong, but just defensive battle. And I'm concerned about the fantasy points there, that they're not going to be what people are hoping for. Because I heard on my drive into work that the the money that's coming in on Vegas, people are betting the over, and I'm just not on that side, so I'd prefer to take the Jets here. The next question is this one's from Joel. This is a fun exercise. It's a 4-point quarterback scoring system. Lamar Jackson or Aaron Rodgers? Joel, how do you have both? How is this possible? All right. Aaron Rodgers is my number one quarterback currently in the rankings which if you want to see all the rankings, the start, sit tool, all that stuff, the fantasyfootballers.com. Go check that out. Aaron Rodgers is my number one quarterback. Lamar Jackson is bumped down a few spots. He's playing against Buffalo. I talked about the weather concerns about Monday. The only other game where it's like iffy, it's the Buffalo game because Buffalo loves their wind. They love their wings. They love the wind. Now, that should make sense because, I mean, how do you fly in the wind, Brooks? Wings. Wings, Brooks. That's what it Brooks did not like that one. But that was good. It was not good. I know it wasn't good, but I had to finish it anyways.
I'm chuckling over here.
All right. Aside from that ridiculous algebraic equation that I just put forth to everybody, Aaron Rodgers, or what I was saying is there's at least could be some gusty situations going on in Buffalo, which that hurts the deep ball, that hurts the field goal kicking. Hollywood Brown is going to play, but Tre'Davious White, I don't know. Anyways, so I like Lamar Jackson, not for the huge passing attack that I expect to see this week, but Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson. So Lamar Jackson is so much safer than Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers' ceiling this week is higher than Lamar Jackson's. That's a crazy thing to say, but like Aaron Rodgers' ceiling this week is 5 touchdowns. His floor, though, is Aaron Jones has 3 rushing touchdowns and Rodgers has 1 passing touchdown. So that's in the world of things that could happen and honestly easily happen to Aaron Rodgers, that exists. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson, they're not scoring. They aren't scoring unless Lamar Jackson is the one getting it done. So it depends on which levers you need to pull. Do you need that massive upside of Rodgers this week exploding? Don't forget the plan, though. Play, cut. Play, cut. I'm very adamant about this plan. And then you play a Ryan Fitzpatrick, and then it's fantasy glory because it's 2019, and this is what we do. All right, Jeff wants to know, it was Alexander Madison or Josh Jacobs. When is Minnesota playing? Are they in the other? Minnesota's in the morning. Oh, I really don't think Josh Jacobs is going to play. I know he got back to limited, but he's been missing a whole bunch of time. Comes out that he has been playing with a broken shoulder. It's tough sledding in Oakland right now. Man. Alexander Madison is very interesting this week. We've talked about it. His range of outcomes is just all over the place, where Dalvin Cook could be 100%, and then it's the exact same thing that we've seen, or the Vikings get up huge on the Lions and they go to Madison, or Dalvin Cook actually re-injures, and then it's Madison. The range of outcomes for Madison this week are all over the place. But okay, Brooks, I need help on this one. If you have Alexander Madison and Josh Jacobs on your team, like those are your only 2 options. Do you just eat it and play Madison in the morning, or do you wait on Josh Jacobs and hopefully you got to go grab Richard or Washington if you can.
I'd probably go Madison in that case. Definitely, if I can't get a backup plan.
Right, but I'm saying you can add right now. He just did it. He's got Jalen Richard now. So
I'd play Madison myself in that case.
Over Richard?
Yeah, I think so.
That is a brutal situation, my man. That is absolutely brutal. Because do you even want Jacobs to play? Because then you're playing him, and he's got a broken shoulder. This Jacobs situation is brutal. Yeah, I'm going Madison. I'm gonna pivot out. All right, we got time for. I can rapidly go through and try and knock some of these out. Then it's on to the rankings. Then it's on to the football. Melvin Gordon. This one's from Jake. Melvin Gordon, Eckler, or Lindsey. Pick 2. Gordon and Gordon's in. And then I'm going Lindsey. I'm going to go with Andy's start of the week. Philip Lindsey against the Houston Texans. All right. Next question is from Dylan. Singletary or Madison at flex PPR. That one I'm going with Devin Singletary. Madison is interesting, but I'm going to stick with Singletary even in the bad matchup. Alex Kane says, Triceratops, where'd you get that sweatshirt? This one's shout out to my buddy Ned from the Try Guys. If you're not familiar with the Try Guys YouTube, it's massively popular for a good reason. They're good dudes, very funny dudes, and this is me supporting them. Let's see. Cole, 49ers or Ravens defense? I'm going with the Ravens. I'm going with the Josh Allen. I talked about how he's really impressed me because he's so improved, but I would rather play against him than play against Drew Brees at home. Like that's a pretty easy one for me, despite the 49ers being a legit elite defense this year. Drozen DeMar says flex PPR, Pascal or Kareem. This goes back to my trust issues with Pascal. Kareem is safe, but he doesn't have a ceiling. I'm going to go with Pascal in the PPR situation. Hope he can get you 5+ receptions. And then the last question of the day. Last question of the day. USLA Gaming says need 2. Robbie, Powell, McCoy. You're playing Jets, man. I'm doing it too in the listener league where I talked about I'm playing Powell. I am playing Robbie Anderson too. Playoffs in the hands of the New York Jets. Hooray! That's what we all want to do. Hooray! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me for Sunday Live. I hope that you were able to glean something from me spewing nonsense into the nethers, just shouting into the void for my producer over there who likes tacos. I like tacos too, but come on, burritos we're there for the taking.
They're both great, man.
For Brooks, I'm Mike, the Fantasy Hitman, Wright. Thank you for joining me for Sunday Live. Best of luck. We wish you all the best of luck. Let's get those #FootClan titles. We'll see you tomorrow on the podcast. And remember to keep it beautiful. Mwah. We love you all. Good luck. Goodbye.